What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy Myron McRae, aka Tornado McRae, across the skywars of the internet, here with another episode of Panther Pride TV, your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. And happy Monday to all of you. Hope you are having a great Monday. Hope everything's going smooth. If you're on vacation, enjoy your vacation time. Enjoy that pina colada on the beach, man. And if you're at work, hope you got your favorite lunch. Hope you don't crash out on that coworker. And honestly, hope you get that promotion. I really do. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into today's docket, get on the things that crossed my TL, crossed my timeline, crossed everything on my internet, sponsored to me by Darth Vader and Avatar Aang, and you know what, every other thing in the universe, because I'm just a nerd, and at the same time, I'm an athletic nerd, bro. Whatever. But, guys, first thing is, apparently, there's a Carolina executive that uses Madden to hone his skills. So when I first saw this article, I said, what? Hold up. There's somebody out here using Madden to sit there and get better at his executive skills and whatnot, like this is sim racing or something like that. So the executive in question is actually our executive vice president of football operations, Brent Hillis. And he was on the Field Talk podcast and just gave us a quick breakdown of what he means by that. So Brent said, I will go into franchise mode and I would do a fantasy draft and I would redraft a whole team of players. I would just play the offseason, then I would simulate the actual season, then go back into the offseason and just keep going. If we made it to the Super Bowl, I would play the Super Bowl. And that was that. After about 10 or 12 seasons worth of playing, I'd be like, okay, I'm bored. I want to start a new season. I want to start over. I want to rebuild. And just being a sports fan, I love dynasties. Now, let me tell y'all something real quick. That to me is hilarious on a number of levels. Like, bro, Brent Hillis is one of us. He's one of us. Like, I love it. I love it because we all know how many times in Madden or in NCAA, whether it's 25, 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, even back to 05, 04, how we would build dynasties and try to just build up programs, man. And to see that an NFL executive admits, yeah, I do it too, to get better at my job, I absolutely love it. I think it shows a guy who really pays attention to the nuances of football and in the current day, because you have some executives don't know a lick about football, don't know nothing, just got hired because their whole premise is to try and make the franchise money. They're not trying to help the franchise win. Yes, y'all know I'm telling the truth when I say that. So I love it with the fact that Brent Hillis has said, hey, yo, I use this to get better. I use it to understand trades. I love building dynasties. I've done it. And for me, I know it definitely probably helps him, because even myself with like ESPN 2K5 and old Maddens, especially how in depth those used to go, they helped me understand salary caps, trade value, like where trade rumors are, the trading block, making sure everything's under budget, in budget, what's going into the luxury tax, what players is worth this, what are good trades, what are bad trades. Doing that, and that's your job on a constant basis in the front office, bro. Like Brent Hillis, hey man, I gotta give you a round of applause for that. I think that is really cool. And for those of you who think, oh, that's probably not successful, bro, he's the executive vice president of football operations for Carolina. And here's the bad part. Prior to coming to us, this man was working for the Chiefs for 13 years. And his last job there was executive vice president of football operations for the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs. So obviously, the man knows what he's talking about. The man understands his game and whatnot. So I gotta give him credit for that. And then next, guys, we're actually gonna take a look and a revisit at the 2021 NFL draft. And the reason being is because there's been some changes and whatnot a little bit. So Nick Baumgardner of The Athletic re-released the 2024 or not 2024, re-released the rankings for the 2021 NFL Draft, and here are his orders for certain positions. Now, there are two positions that stood out in terms of Carolina as a franchise that I think we would love to see. So, number one, running back position. He has Chuba Hubbard listed as the number one running back. I love it, boy. So he has Chuba Hubbard at number one, Najee Harris at number two, Ramondre Stevenson. Forgot the end. My bad, Ramondre. I apologize. Travis Etienne at number four, and then Javonte Williams at number five. And here's what he had to say about it. He said, there are no elite running backs in this class, despite two of them, Najee Harris and Travis Etienne, being drafted in the first round. Harris, who averaged fewer than 4 yards per carry during 4 years in Pittsburgh, was not re-upped by the Steelers and is on a 1-year deal with the Chargers. He hasn't been bad in the NFL, hitting 1,000 yards every year so far, but he also hasn't been spectacular. 4th round picks Chuba Hubbard. Why not? Dang it. I misspelled Chuba. There's an extra B in on my I'm sad. But Chuba Hubbard and Ramondre Stevenson received 4-year extensions from their respective teams. Hubbard at $33.2 million, Stevenson at $36 million, each going through. Though each has outperformed his draft slot, it'll be interesting to see if they live up to those long-term deals. Now, I will say, I think it's crazy to the fact that Ramondre Stevenson, Hubbard, Etienne, and Najee Harris are all in the same draft. I totally forgot that. That totally slipped my mind. Like, I remember Harris being there. I really do. And I do remember Etienne being there. I totally forgot that Ramondre Stevenson was in there. And I dang sure forgot that Javonte Williams was in that draft too. So that's honestly crazy. I'm like, oh, wow, that is actually kind of wild. But the other position that he brought up was the cornerback position. And the cornerbacks, he has it listed like this. Patrick Surtain, the second, is the number one quarterback, followed by J.C. Horn, then Paulson Adebo, Lenoir, and then Asante Samuel Jr. at number 5. And I'll be honest, if we can get, like I told y'all, if we can get Asante Samuel having the number 2 and number 5 corners from a draft, that's not a bad place to be. It's really not. Granted, there's a video on my personal channel before from years ago where I did say I wanted Patrick Surtain in that draft. I do remember that. It's still up on my channel, Tornado McRae, if y'all want to go watch it. But, yeah, I did want Patrick Surtain, but JC has been great too, so I'm not mad at it. He's the number 2 corner in the draft, and here's what he had to say about J.C. Horn. Said J.C. Horn was the highest drafted corner in this group. But things weren't looking great prior to an outstanding 2024 campaign that saw him land in the Pro Bowl and subsequently sign a 4-year $100 million deal this spring. Horn's deal is a tick higher than the one Surtain, a 3-time Pro Bowler, 2024 Defensive MVP, and one of the best defenders in football, commanded last September. Horn's potential is clear, but Carolina definitely rolled the dice there. And truth be told, I can't say the man lied. I can't say the man lied only because of JC's injury history. Now, we all know when JC's on the field, when he's healthy, one of the best corners in the game. Cannot deny it. He honestly is. But the man's health has been a concern. So the $100 million deal, it's a risk versus reward thing. Because if JC is healthy from here on out and balls out the way we know he can, it's going to look like you got him for the low. But if injuries get worse, I'm not speaking them into existence, but if they do, you're going to look like you overpaid and put yourself in a hole. So I get why he's saying, hey, yo, it's a roll of the dice. I understand it. I can't be mad at it. It's not a bad take, but anything of that nature is just the honest opinion. And then lastly, guys, An NFL writer called a Panthers quarterback a hypocrite. So this one actually kind of got me off guard a little bit. And here's the situation. Mike Fisher at Athlon Sports wrote an article in regards to Cam Newton's advice towards Shedeur Sanders. And he felt as though Cam Newton was being a bit hypocritical in recognizing that Sanders' entitled vibe is the same thing that Cam dealt with when he was in the league. And for those of you who don't know or don't remember, here's what Cam actually said. So here's Cam's comments. He's like, Shedeur, first off, I got to hold him accountable, right? Travis Hunter is what we think Shedeur is supposed to be. Travis Hunter is polished like a quarterback. Shedeur has always got this mean mug look on his face. Schnaub is looking, you know what I'm saying? I've met Shedeur multiple times, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, okay. He's always in character, I got to portray like I'm hard. And then, here's what Mike Fisher followed that up with. He followed it up to say this. In his article, he's like, of all the various opinions of Shedeur's surprising slide, Cam's might be the most shocking. Instead of embracing a quarterback seemingly cut from the same cocky cloth as he is and was, or he was and is, Newton believes Shedeur dropped because of his entitled vibe. Again, this is not the advice of Warren Moon, the quarterback legend who has somberly urged Shedeur to tone it down. And this is not advice of Browns QB Joe Flacco, who at age 40 could surely guide Shedeur if the rookie is willing. This is coming from Cam Newton, who during his ESPN appearances is purposely flamboyant and colorful and kooky. You know, always in character, one might even say. All right, Mike, here's my issue here. Now, when I looked at what Cam's statement was, to me, that is Cam embracing Shedeur, contrary to what you believe. To me, that is Cam telling Shedeur, hey, I know what it's like to be that cocky guy, to have that random cockiness and attitude. And he knows exactly how the media will break you. If there's one person that knows how quick the media will portray you for the cocky attitude that you have constantly and the way you condone yourself, it's Cam Newton. Cam knows that. And for him to say that, to me, is him kind of giving a warning. He's giving Shedeur a warning like, hey, bro, you don't have to do that. You end up in this position because of X, Y, and Z. Because of the attitude that you had going into it and things of that nature. And it's like, all right, you're mad that Cam gave it because Cam has this flamboyant appearance. Cam has this X, Y, and Z. One, Cam may not be in character. That just could be who Cam is. But two, if it is character, that to me is more of a reason for Cam to say it, because he's like, Shedeur, you don't have to be this. You just admitted in this article, this isn't Warren Moon who gave this advice or Joe Flacco. It's Cam Newton. And you want to sit there and say, oh, ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? No, it's Cam warning him what not to do. And I think there's a slight cultural misunderstanding here going on, because the way in which Cam said it, I see a mentor embracing him and warning him, but Mike Fisher doesn't see a mentor embracing and warning him. And I think, one, if Cam says it a completely different way, if his wording is different, Mike Fisher would be on his side. Or these exact words could be said, and if it came from Warren Moon or Joe Flacco, no issue here. No issue whatsoever. But because it's Cam Newton and it's not the exact way that you like, it's a problem. And I think that's kind of crazy. Plus, what Cam said isn't wrong. When you look at Travis and Shedeur, Travis, he does his work on the field. Yes, he's great on the field, but off the field, you don't hear about him. You don't hear about anything outside of probably the girlfriend incidences. Well, now his wife. And it's like, he goes home, he plays the game, he stays on the side, X, Y, and Z. Whereas Shedeur, you hear about Shedeur a lot. And not even in a bad light, because the kid's not doing anything bad. He's not stealing. He's not dealing. He's not getting caught up. He's just outspoken and very talkative. He is like a receiver. When you look at it and think about it, for example, I'll give you this. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, when Stephon Diggs was in Buffalo. Josh Allen in the house, doing his thing, handling business, gave the right answer, was quiet, reserved, blah, blah, blah. Stephon Diggs there, outspoken, X, Y, and Z, very expressive, doing what he wants to do. And everybody knew it. And they labeled Stephon Diggs as the problem child, Josh Allen is the franchise. So now, instead of it being Travis, because Travis won the Heisman playing both ways, you would think it would have been Travis, but no, it's Shedeur who's the outspoken one. Shedeur is who does that. And there's also a level to where potentially Shedeur did that to let Travis remain hidden, to let Travis stay out of the limelight. Because Travis is all about, hey, I just do my thing and I keep it pushing. He doesn't like shine and want to be in the limelight. He doesn't want to be out there like that. So overall, I genuinely think Cam Newton is giving the same advice that a Warren Moon has done. Is like, hey, yo, just tone it down, X, Y, and Z. And I think Cam is actually the perfect person because his career was derailed quite in part due to his attitude he had about himself. And he had to be humbled. And this is what they're doing with Shedeur. So, Mike Fisher, I think you got this one wrong. I think you may just be misunderstanding it because of the words that are said. That's my 2 cents on the matter. But guys, that's all I have for today's episode. Also, because I didn't get to it last week, happy birthday. Oh, damn. Hold up. Oh, Lord. There we go. Happy birthday, Jay Jeter, 8482, man. I hope you have a great birthday. I didn't get to it last week. I apologize. I should have got to it on the June 6th episode, but had a whole lot going on with the family, things like that. But I may be a day late and $1 short. However, I still got it done. Hope you had a fantastic birthday weekend and you were able to enjoy it. But guys, with all that being said, that's it I have for today's episode. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell at the bottom so you can always be notified for when these Panther videos are uploaded. And 2, comment below and let me know, what are your thoughts about Brant Tillis using Madden skills? Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's corny? Do you like the fact that our executive VP of football ops is one of us? Or do you think he should get in the office and stay off the game? 2, how do you feel about Chuba and J.C. Horn being the top dogs in their positions in this draft re-ranking? And 3, how do you feel about Cam's comments on Shedeur as well as Mike Fisher's comments on Cam? Was Cam in the right? Was Mike in the right? Were they both wrong? Were they both right? And everything in between. Because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all of you. Take care, Panther Nation. Later days. And as always, keep pounding. I'll see you next time.